There we go. Yeah. So hi, Christine. How are you? Little bit of a technical issues there, learning and whatnot. All right. So anyway, Christine, I'm just gonna have just a few minutes. I'm gonna just talk for a couple minutes and and let people know that I've had some pretty heart-wrenching conversations with you over the last few weeks, right? To try and get ready for this. So now we don't have a whole lot of people in our live right now, but it don't matter because I'm going to be rebroadcasting this. Okay. So Christine, so let's just start from the beginning. You told me that your place, your acreage farm was passed down to you from your grandfather, and it's 100 years old. And prior to the wind companies coming in, your well water was pristine and wonderful, and life was great and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, your life turned into turmoil. Yeah, so let's just, the floor is yours, honey. Let you tell me what you want to tell me, or us. I've got a lot of what's going on. Okay, just hang on a second. It's me. I've got my computer running. Okay. There, is that better?
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, I had my computer running at the same time. Okay, so.
Yes, this is I was born and raised in this house. His father was born and raised in this house. And Grandpa passed away in 2019 at the age of 99. So he lived a rich life, and he most certainly did not drink the water that we have today. We had pristine, crystal clear, mineral-filled water. It was beautiful. I don't know if I can show you this, if you'll see it, but yeah, that's how clean it was. That's my son. I have two kids now, my son and my daughter. And now I'm a grandmother of two, and yeah, this place has lost its life. Without water, there's three essentials to life: food, shelter, and water. We've got the food and got the shelter so far, but the water's gone. And I'm not alone. When I'm speaking here tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of my neighbors in this area. There's a total of 94 turbines in this general area by the time they were done. There could have been a lot more, thankfully, that they've stopped it so far, and I pray that they continue not to put any more on our aquifer. They've done enough damage to it. It's irreparable damage. I don't think we'll see it back in our lifetime. The only way we might see it back is if they were to shut off the turbines, and highly unlikely that will happen. But here's a map. I don't know if you can see it, but these are all the turbines that are around us.
Yeah, I can see it.
All these stars. Those red stars, those red markings. It's tough to tell a decade story in this time limit, and hopefully we'll have more time to discuss it. But we started to track all the wells in the North Kent 1 wind facility. We started to track all the wells that went down as time went on. Now there's a lot more of those red blotches today than we never had this issue before, and it happened to everybody all of a sudden. I got another newspaper article. He's the first one that got affected.
Okay, what was the family's name?
That's Laurier Cartier, and you can see his water is just as black as ours at the bottom. It's just holding that pail.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got another photo. If you can see this, this is a picture of our water, and that there is a picture of a friend, Jim and Angela Lavalier. They have to tank their water into that house. So they fill that tank up, then they empty it into their shed, and then it feeds the house. That is a picture of Lucy and Don DeFrays over in the North Kent 1 wind project. That's their 2-car garage. There's supposed to be cars there, but that's their water supply. And this one here is a picture of our basement. But I've got a little just to show you here. This has settled in my fridge. Those are the sediments that we are very concerned about.
Wow.
And this is what happens. This is what's coming out of our well now.
Wow.
So we have to, this is my showering water. Like it goes through 4 sediment traps, 6 cartridges, so 10 total to try and get it as clean as we can. But the sediment is so silt fine that you're unable to filter it out. Kind of jumping all over the place. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So
that's fine. Actually, I haven't done this in years myself, and but it's okay. What matters is like we're going to tell your story, or actually, you're going to tell your story, and
these are my 10 filters.
Yeah. So as I was saying, the more of these videos that we do, the better we'll both get at this. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
But I can see that you're ready. But you know, I promised I wouldn't say anything. I'd let you talk. But to be honest, Christine, the conversations that I had with you and the research that I've done on your story, I've been totally shocked. It's crazy that this was allowed to happen, all in the name of green energy, right? It's like they didn't care, you know, about the families that were sacrificed to you know to go along with the agenda, and I'm sure there was a lot of money behind this too, a lot of money at stake, a lot of stakeholders, if you will.
There's no doubt about it.
You know,
no,
so,
they knew it was happening. They watched it happen like we did.
Yeah.
They were aware.
So I you know, this story is not going to be told in a half hour tonight, so we're going to have to and you know, like schedule more of these, and then there's the other ladies from Ontario. Like I just talked to Angela tonight, and I talked to Esther Reitman, and we're going to bring this together. Now, Christine, tell us what your goal is in reaching, you know, like becoming part of Wind Concerns Newfoundland. What's your purpose here?
To warn the people there. You guys have to protect your water. You only get, once your water's damaged, it's beyond repair, and you've got to protect your water, your aquifers, your environment. I've just seen a map of what's going on over there, and I am flabbergasted. To me, they're stripping your province. It's not. This is not going to be good, and I can't wave these red flags high enough to warn you all. This is not going to be good. You will be told stories left and right from the wind industry. They're very, very good at telling stories. Don't fall for them. Don't fall for it. You got to fight this. You've got to save what you've enjoyed and lived with. You've got to fight. You've got to save this. Water is vital, and it's a nightmare. To go without your water is a nightmare.
Yeah, there are so many people that are not aware of your story. There might be, you know, like in Ontario or whatever, but not Newfoundland. or the world. And this is what, I'm so glad that you came on with us at When Concerns Newfoundland to tell your story, to warn us. Like, by the sounds of it, your well water or even your land up there, it's the damage is not ever going to be repaired because they mess with Mother Nature down there, right? They did things that were not supposed to be done, and
Yeah. They should have never touched this aquifer.
No,
they should have never touched it. Now it's irreparable.
Yeah,
So the people in Newfoundland, you guys, you got one shot. You either protect it or you lose it.
Well, Christine, the way it is, nothing's happened here yet. So we got people like people like you all the way from Ontario, from Newfoundland, that are concerned about what's happening in Newfoundland, and you're trying to warn us. And you're not the only one. We have several members in our group right now that are from Ontario that are victims of what I call victims of the wind, right? And the stories are similar but vary.
I, along with many, we are victims of industrial wind turbines.
Yes.
We are definitely victims of the turbine.
No, like right now in Newfoundland, okay, I'm late coming on to this. I'm only a few months into it, but I've done some massive research. And right now, people here, okay, the people that think this is a great thing, like the promise of jobs and all this stuff, you know what? The wind industry is not telling them there's another side to this story, nor is the government. I'm not blaming the government. Maybe the government just don't know.
They're not going to share with you with that. They're not going to share that with you.
I mean, but the wind companies are certainly not going to put anything that's negative out there. That's for sure.
No. No. The knowledge is a wonderful thing, and the wind industry does not like you to know everything. They don't want you knowing everything. They're not going to tell you everything. Our property value has dropped tremendously, and that's expected. Without water, that's gone down.
Plus all the windmills were wind turbines in all over the place there.
The noise, the noise. I can't open up my bedroom window at nighttime. I'm sure you guys can right at the moment, but when you get them wind industry, you get those wind turbines there, you're going to be shutting your windows because you ain't going to be able to stand that whoosh, 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 night after night, day after day. Oh my God, I pray for you folks. I do. Sorry. I've
read some stories where the wind industry or proponents of this, they say, well, it's no different than your refrigerator running. Oh, yes, it is. A refrigerator cuts in for 5 minutes and then it's shut down for an hour. So, no, that's not a comparison. So they use all of these, they try and reference it to that, or the noise of a car driving by your house. Okay, yeah, there's decibels to be added when a car drives by your house, but they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah.
Right? I mean, how many people live right next to the Highway 401 in Toronto, where there is constant traffic all day long and all night long? Mm-hmm. Nobody lives there. They have these things so far away from residents, like those people that live there don't air that stuff at night or any time during the day, or the flicker from the windmills, and that flicker is coming on your porch, right in front of your porch door window or your living room window and stuff like that. These are
like having a strobe light.
Yeah, exactly.
Drive you crazy.
A strobe light that we used to, have in the 70s, the disco here. But can you imagine living in that 24 hours a day?
No.
7 days a week?
No, I have a neighbor that's got that in the mornings.
Yeah.
He's got that strobe light effect in his bathroom and his kitchen in the mornings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows this, and I should also mention that Newfoundland I got looking into little details of your beautiful little province over there, one of my places to go on my bucket list. You have 2 sections of black shale under your grounds as well. You need to go to the geological 1993. I think I shared that with you, geological survey. You've got some black shale that's over there as well. And this black shale. It's got a lot of toxic heavy metals in it. It's antimony, arsenic, barium, cadmium. This is what's in mine: iron, copper, lead. If I'm pronouncing this right, it's molybdenum, nickel, silver, and tin. So that's a lot of toxic heavy metals that is in our water that we can't filter out. And our chief medical officer he says that this is okay. It's just saying drink it, it'll come out the other end. Yet he wouldn't touch the jar or drink the jar.
Yeah.
When we handed it to him at a meeting. So yeah.
So Christine, to your knowledge, did any of these wind farms get built near any of the politicians at the time? Like, I know there was two of them. There was two Liberal governments involved in this. And so did the politicians allow these wind farms to be built in their neighborhoods or in their backyard?
Well, I'm sure I can't think of any of the politicians that are here. Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, yes, we did have a councillor that would have lived in there within the Turbine area anyway, close to it, I think. But he sold his place and moved down to a small little village. Like, I'm just outside of Lake St. Clair, so he moved into the village.
Right. So you got to wonder why he left, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe his old house that he left might have had some issues, but I can't confirm that.
Yeah. You know, I'm still, for want of a better word, dumbfounded that this got large. I mean, I'm going to call it plight of the people in Ontario, in rural Ontario. For the most part, it was largely unnoticed. There was a few local publications and stuff like that, but I never heard about it.
We didn't see anything come our way either. We were, apparently you got 5G internet. We don't. Back when the turbines came here, we were probably the next step up from dial-up. Yeah. The old way. So, and to me, there should have been literature delivered in everybody's mailbox. You give everybody the warning that you were coming.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into it right now, but everybody in Canada, they've just gone for 2 years, and I'm not going to say the word, but we were lied to. And you guys were lied to then. Or if you weren't lied to, you were told half-truths.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they had to, like, if you were if your family was one of the first ones to get hit, you never had nobody to warn you of what's coming. You just didn't. You were the first ones to get hit, and then 5 years later, the people that got hit.
No, everybody was supposed to say hush hush. No, the wind industry was to stay quiet. They weren't allowed to talk to the landowners. Get in there, do your work, and get out as fast as possible. They weren't allowed to talk to us. No, this is It's been a decade. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but can you see that?
Yeah, I think that's your records.
Yeah. And with the censorship going on here in Ontario or Canada, thanks to you know who, there's a lot of newspaper articles you can't pick up online now. So it's a good thing I kept all them records.
No kidding. I wish this, a few years ago in Ontario, you had people like Rebel News, The Sun, covering these stories, okay? But now it's like it's just a part of history now, okay? Because things did tame down a little bit in Ontario. I mean, wind companies started to leave because the subsidies were gone and stuff like that. So, but there are still those people that are left behind, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The documentary, which is specifically about Ontario, and it's called Wind Down. Everything that we need to know in Newfoundland about what's coming our way can be all seen in that documentary, all of it.
Yeah. people need to wake up and get informed. You need to get informed, and please don't believe everything the wind industry is going to tell you. We've been lied to enough times. So there is our own premier, Doug Ford, signed that he was going to look into our water and sediments.
Right, and he didn't do it.
He looked into the water, but didn't conclude the sediments, and the sediments is what we've been asking them to do for. Just look at this stuff and tell us it's okay, but they haven't even touched it yet. So I'm still moving forward. I am still moving forward. This is the latest.
So this is what I think of Doug Ford, okay? I think Doug Ford won the election on making promises to people that were affected by the wind industry. Okay? I said making promises, and he won a sweeping majority the first time around and the second time around as well, right? But the first time, I think, from what I've gathered, is that he campaigned on our lives, families such as yourself were destroyed, and then everybody at the time in Ontario were paying ridiculous power bills and stuff like that. So he had the perfect campaign, and he came in and he destroyed the Liberals.
Campaign promises have been broken.
Yeah, there is still a lot of people left behind. I mean, I don't think there's any, like, from where I sit, you live on your grandfather's. I mean, he built that right from scratch, right up, you know, as a young farmer or whatever, and then built it over the years. And I mean, before you lived there, there's no doubt you visited there as a child and like to go over to see.
It'd be his father probably that started it, but that's through the field here. We've got a little section of Burke's. You notice this old map behind me. It's got Burke in there. Yeah. So great grandfather, like he, you know, a lot of history.
Well, Christine, I you know, I told you before we started this, and like tonight's an introduction. We're introducing you to Newfoundlanders, and hopefully, when we schedule the next live like this, we'll have more people that are interested. Now I'm going to be broadcasting this live, okay, and put it out there, and I'll add a caption to it based on what you have said in this particular video. So, having said that, are you okay with, okay, we can shut her down for this one and then schedule episodes where we can cover all the topics, you know, cover a topic in one segment and another topic in another segment and so on. So that's probably the best route to go. But right now is to get you and me comfortable with each other, especially you, because I don't have anything, you know, it's not my story, it's yours. And so I'm sure you want to get it out there where people will take your warning. Okay. Yeah. And the other thing is
we even made the Groundwater Canada magazine. So I have so much that I could share with you that there's just, yeah, you're right. We'll have to do this another time. Well, it's just a clip.
I think we're going to be looking at one of these for a week for the next number of weeks.
I've got lots to share with you. I just want to send out the big red flags, the big warning, you guys. Please watch yourselves. Protect yourselves. Save and protect your water, your drinking water.
Yeah,
your environment.
One of the things that was suggested to me was, listen, tell your people to get their water tested now.
Please, yes, that is majorly important, and not just for E. coli and coliform. Get the whole sweep of it. I know it might cost a little bit, but it's well worth it. You need a baseline test. Get your water, get that baseline test in your hands before anything gets started. Major big red flags. Warning, get that water tested.
Okay, Christine. I'd say we could probably end this, and I hope you're a little more comfortable now, and it'll get easier every time we come on. It'll get easier. And we might get other people wanting to join us too, you know, like yourself. And
Yeah.
you know, if we can get some comments in the comment section and stuff like that, we'll get somebody monitoring those because chances are we won't be able to see them. So somebody might say, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? We'll figure all these things out down the road as we go, right?
Well,
So
I appreciate you contacting me. I'm glad we hooked up because I am praying for you folks.
so anyway, Christine, thank you
Thank
for
you.
agreeing. That this is so important to me, and believe me, by the time we're done, it'll be very important to a lot of people. I believe there's a comment there now, but I can't read it. Okay, so we got Jacob Butler. He's one. Yeah, he's from Newfoundland, and he says, I can't really read it. This is probably a okay. Newfoundland, probably a province. Why? I can't read it, but it'll be in the comment section anyway, right? When so anyway, thanks for joining in there, Jacob. That's awesome. At least one person joined us. So anyway, Christine, if we're done for now, I'm gonna say good night, and I'll give you a jingle after this thing's published. Okay?
All right. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.